I want to ask you. I know that Phil, you're very bright. You like history. You're a voracious reader. I've known you for a long time. When you saw Scaramucci on television the first time, what did you think?
I thought I liked him right off the bat.
Me too. Right off at the beginning, the very beginning, right?
Yeah.
He was very transparent. He was very real.
Right, but then I think he found out what was going on with the politics, and you're very transparent and you're very honorable guy. But when he started talking about sucking your own dick and started calling people, you should never let people know what you're thinking. Well, not in that position, that's for sure.
Bravo. So what did you think when he called the guy from the fucking plane for the New Yorker, and he expected the guy to have this conversation off the record? Why the fuck call your brother, call your mother, call your friend? Why would you have a conversation like that with a newspaper reporter?
Well, that's my point. This guy was in the business for years. You know that you can't say off the record to any reporter anymore.
Especially when you're talking like that. That's gold. You're giving the guy gold.
Yeah. He was a Wall Street insider. He had a connection. That was the guy he called.
But it's gold. Why? That's gold. Saying to everybody that the guy sucks his own dick and that guy's a cocksucker. And that's gold for a journalist, right, Phil?
Well, he should never been talking to a journalist anyway in that kind of language, not in his position. A guy like me can do it.
A guy like
doesn't matter. But when a guy like him does it, who just got the job,
and he's representing the President of the United States of America.
So no wonder he got sacked right away.
Yeah.
So what do you think of Kelly? I think Kelly did the right thing, sandbagged him right away. Don't you?
That's what I think. Why Kelly's there. He's a tough son of a bitch who ran a lot of things. He probably took a cut in pay, and he also probably took a lesser role to become this communications director or whatever the hell they're calling him now.
Kelly runs the White House. He's the administrator of the staff. He's the guy.
And the most he can get is 3.5 years.
Exactly.
Trump gets reelected again, but he let all his other work go.
You're 100% correct.
I was surprised.
But he's the guy. He's the top guy for the staff. Now, traditionally in the White House, George Stephanopoulos, traditionally people who have that are the most powerful people because they're the guys who can get you an audience with the president. They're the guys who hire and fire people, whether it's in the kitchen, whether it's in the library, they're the guys. They're the ones, right?
You're right about that, Frank, but that's the way it used to be. And Trump is trying to change things.
What I'm saying to you is, I agree, but they brought in Kelly to do that, to bring that back, because the Trump way was not working. It was a clusterfuck.
Well, is it true that what's his name, Schumer, said that they're militarizing the White House? Is that true?
Well, Schumer is a bag of wind, but Trump has this incredible affection for generals, and I don't have a problem with that because generals, have put their life on the line, have protected the lives of the soldiers that they manage, right? So I don't have a problem with that personally.
Neither do I. Not at all.
And I like the three generals that Trump has surrounded with. And I think that maybe these people, these generals who are not political, who are the real deal, who are very respectful, and who have all their lives. You take a look at General Kelly. 40 years he gave himself to the Marines, right?
Yeah.
And very smart man, very articulate, respected on both sides of the aisle.
And they need leadership, and who better to lead them is a general, and he was a Marine who's been in the business for 40 years.
The United States of America.
They need leadership.
Tell me to fuck off. The United States of America, if Trump is surrounding himself with generals, he's doing the smart thing because the world's fucked up right now.
And safe thing.
Well, the world's fucked up right now.
Yep.
So I would, if I was gonna protect myself, I would surround myself with generals too.
Well, protect the country, and that's why.
That's what I mean. When I say protect myself, I mean my country.
You know what? The truth is, what's the difference whether he picks a general or he picks somebody else?
A general's a general, Phil, and a layman is a layman, right? So,
a human being, and that's all they are.
Previs, who was head of the RNC, never fucking had a chance running the day-to-day business at the White House with Trump's family there and all the people that said that they had a direct line to Donald Trump. He never had a chance.
Well,
and Scaramucci comes in and he totally delegitimizes Reince Priebus. So now, what do you need? You need a guy who is a no-nonsense guy who has respect for people, and he puts things in perspective. And I believe that General Kelly's the right guy for the job. I really believe that. I think he's going to do a good job.
Well, he's also there to find out who the leakers are.
Well, there's always leakers, Phil. The tongue has no bones, but it can break
when
them.
you have leakers from the
talks, Phil. You know that
Comey was, like Comey was, and maybe, I don't know, this guy Scaramucci thinks that Priebus was one of the big leakers.
Why would he's full of shit. He wanted his job.
He said
they locked heads because technically, Reince Priebus was Scaramucci's boss, technically. But it wasn't, because he said from the first fucking day that he answered directly to the president.
Yeah, I heard that too. I didn't see it, but somebody told me that.
No, I heard it. I heard his speech. I watched this guy from day one.
Okay, well.
And that's what he said. And you know, Phil, if you're the president of a company and your general manager says, fuck you, I answer straight to the chairman of the board, right?
Well, that's right.
You're going to say, fuck you, I'm the president, you fucking insect.
Well, maybe that's what the president asked for. That Scaramucci...
I believe that that's what happened, and then the president sandbagged him because he let Kelly fire him.
Well, he didn't sandbag him. He had to let him go because he was saying things he shouldn't say.
Well, all I'm telling you is this, in my view, and then you can correct me because you're very smart, Phil. My view is the Mooch, which is a terrible nickname. Anthony Scaramucci started getting completely enthralled and engorged in being in front of the media, and he started saying a bunch of shit and started acting manic. And everybody, even Trump's own kids, said, this is fucking crazy.
That's why he's gone.
He's gone.
Yeah.
And just for the record, Phil, I just want you to know, he got fired before he started his job.
Yeah, I know. He was not there but 3 weeks or 2 weeks.
No, 11 days, but his job was to start next week.
Oh, okay.
Actually.
Okay,
He got fired before his own job.
He doesn't have to worry. He's not going to be out selling pencils in the street.
He's worth, what did they say, $80 million?
Wow.
Money, a lot of money.
Yeah, he's a very rich guy.
Yep, so good for him. And let him white it beat it anyway.
And,
The Mooch!
What?
The Mooch! I didn't know he was worth that much money, man.
Well, he's very, he was it Lehman Brothers? He worked for Lehman Brothers or Goldman Sachs? He worked for Goldman Sachs. And he made a lot of money there. He was hedge fund manager, made a lot of money there, and then he started his own hedge fund. But here's the problem: the hedge fund that he started right now is about to be sold to the Chinese, and I believe that that's another reason why they fired him, because it would be a conflict of interest.
Yeah. Now, I'm like you, Phil. I like the guy. I like the guy from the first day.
I never liked him. I thought at the beginning it was refreshing. I thought that he was going to be able to stand up to the press, and he was quick on his feet, and then he became crazy.
Yeah, if he wasn't before. Did you see the dress down?
The guy's educated at Harvard.
Yeah.
He made a lot of money for himself. Mm-hmm. But I after the second or the third time I saw him, I saw some craziness in him.
Yeah, but didn't you the first day, Frank, look at the guy and go, hey, this could be refreshing. This could be fun.
I told you guys, and we can play back the show.
Oh, I believe
it. I said that, Spicer had no chance. He was losing his mind, and they needed somebody more stronger and quicker on their toes. And this guy looked like he was quick on his feet.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Well, the funny thing is, he did something that we will never know. Besides talking to a reporter and saying the stupid shit that he said.
Yeah.
And honestly, I thought that I liked him too from the beginning. I remember seeing him on Fox News when he was working there, and I liked the kid. I did. I liked the guy. And
well, he's not a kid. He's 53 years old.
You can't say the things you said when you're in a position like that.
I think it was planned. I think that Trump brought him in to get rid of some of the people that he couldn't get rid of. I thought he came in to get rid of. I think that Trump brought him in to whack Spicer and Reince Priebus, and I think that he served his purpose. And I think that the president's going to look after him.